Hello and welcome back to the original Father-Son Voiceover podcast. Dad's here, I'm here. We've got two special guests here today. We've got BJ Ruland and his son, William Ruland. So today we're going to have them as our interview. It's kind of our 4th of July special, as it were. William's going to be a Marine, or maybe he already is one. I don't know how you say that. Okay, he's going to be a Marine. And then BJ is...
Not going to be a Marine.
Not going to be a Marine. But he's here and he's our mechanic. He helps out with the baseball team. So we'll get more into that right now. So,
well, I was thinking, BJ, as we prepared, I've known your family from before you were born even, because your dad. Now, okay, so let me get this straight. Your dad's name is William John, and you're BJ, so you're William John
J.
Oh, you're William J.
Correct. Yeah.
So you're not the second.
There's not a second or a third.
And then you're
Joseph.
William Joseph. Okay, I always thought it was. I thought you were a trifecta. I thought you were the three.
Yeah, no. It was.
Okay.
It was.
So you're just J-A-Y. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
So most people don't even know that.
So it's Willie's Repair, and
Correct.
And your dad did my dad's repairs. When I was a really little kid, we used to go to Bollig's. And he was a mechanic there along with Ronnie Schlick.
Yep.
And then he broke off or it closed down or something. And he had a shop right downtown in the residential area.
On John Street.
On John Street in Mazomanie. Yep. And you were probably in high school then, right? Or were you in college then? Or
he opened the shop in 83.
Okay.
So I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
So right over here, you opened the shop?
And then the new shop that's right near here is 88, 87, 88.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, their shop, BJ and Willie's shop, is 3 stone's throws away. Mm-hmm. Not with my arm, with your arm or William's arm.
Maybe one throw with Huddy's arm.
Yeah, maybe. So anyway, we've known you guys for a long time, and BJ's our mechanic, and we're very happy to have him because we know nothing about vehicles.
We know so little that I put 60 psi.
It might have been a little.
It might have been more than 60 psi in all of my tires, so I was almost floating. That's one I don't ever live down.
Heck of a way to try and get better gas mileage, but it didn't work too well.
I'm so thankful that I didn't have the rim punch me in the chest because it could have been. I just kept filling them up. I just kept going. Like I would put the thing. I thought it's broken. It's not working.
Did you have the symbol or the tire pressure light on your?
It's always on right now.
Yeah.
Even
this
if
was
it's
before then too.
But I'd put air in there and I'd put the gauge on there and it just wouldn't work. I thought there's no way there's that much in there. So I just keep putting it in there, and I was riding really rough. So I thought I was riding on the rims. Well, turns out I was floating on air, basically, just lots of air.
It's one of the more enjoyable stories I pass along to other people.
And I deserve.
Did you put a name on it too, or not?
I usually leave the name out, but now the world knows. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, having a good doctor is important to good dentist, and people can smell me, whether I'm looking for a new car or trying to get my car fixed. They can smell me a mile away because I don't know anything about cars. So it's nice to have Willie's dad, BJ, and you did mechanical stuff too. I mean, you worked for your dad. You went to Madison Area Technical College and did that before you,
before I decided to join. Yeah. I never completed. I literally completed every single class except for the very last one, and I dropped out.
Yeah. So I do have a question. I do have a question related to your mechanical stuff and the Marines, but I'll save that for just a second. Just a little bit more about how we know these guys. BJ was our 2 youngest, Demond and Deshaun, are right around your age. Is Demond a year older?
Deshaun's a year younger.
Deshaun's a year younger.
Right,
so you're sandwiched in between there, the old Oreo.
So I've played a bunch of years because of Demond in high school then, and Deshaun in high school with me. And then Little League, Deshaun and Demond have played with Little League, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. And BJ was the coach, and you helped out. And
I helped out one time, and then I became the coach when you guys were in high school for Summer League.
For the
and then I asked BJ to come help out. So we've traded
the role once. Yes. We've traded the role.
And BJ helps out with our home talent team. too. So,
Yeah.
and William plays. Obviously, he's got the Mustangs
Old
hat
cat.
on, but that's how we know him.
Yeah. And of course, BJ was our first. Okay, this is a bunch of firsts
Yeah,
for you.
true.
Because you were our first live phone call last week about
Phone a
the
friend.
automotive, the Lego
Yep.
trick question.
The trick question.
And you did very well on that. And that was fun. And then this week now you're our first live local interviewees. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
We're just a family of firsts,
unbelievable.
I guess.
Family of firsts.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's anything else we've missed. We won't tell the Apache Chevrolet truck story right now, but that connects us too.
It does.
And I hear whispers from your son that you're going to put a bigger engine in there. Is that possible?
It's possible. I have tried very hard over the last few years to blow up the engine that's in it, to have an excuse, but the motor just won't die. So I'm just still driving it.
Is that the original? Or you put
No,
in-
it's the original motor. I put in it in 1995
Okay.
when we did the restoration on it.
Got it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So is there anything else that we've missed of what how we're connected to BJ and William? Seems like that's quite a bit actually.
Yeah.
How our families have interacted over the years and how we continue to do so. So let's talk just a little bit about William's serving our country. It's a great time to think about that, 4th
Yeah.
of July and stuff. So has this always, I mean, I know your uncle, your youngest brother, Daniel,
He was
Was-
in the Marines. Yes.
was in the Marines and other,
the Marines, and now he currently serves for the Wisconsin National Guard.
okay.
Nice.
Okay. And so was that a little bit in your mind when you thought about joining up? Or
Yeah, just a little bit. I called him when the first time I left the recruiter's office at like 7 p.m. after school one day, and I called him up and talked to him for like half an hour about it. But yeah, I also I think it was my senior year of high school, I talked to an Army National Guard recruiter, and we actually went down there, and he offered to sign papers, and I said I'd think about it, and then I decided no at the time because I wanted to go to school. But yeah, it's just because of that, I guess.
It seems like he's always had it in the back of his head. It always kind
Yeah.
of was there.
It's like a backup plan mostly, just because COVID right now and automotive industry is not the greatest. It has been.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So you are leaving in August. Is that right for boot camp?
Yeah, I leave in 29 days now.
Wow.
So less than a month. And you're heading where for boot
So
camp?
it's MCRD San Diego.
Okay.
Yep, and then that's where I'll be stationed for 4 years too. There being
Really?
a mechanic.
That's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask if you're going to be able to use some of the, will you be doing like automotive mechanic stuff or more
No,
air?
it's for vehicles, marine vehicles called AAVs, amphibious assault vehicles,
Oh,
and they're just massive boxes of metal that carry a whole squad of Marines basically, and you just got that job doing that.
So water
Yeah.
vehicles. Wow. That's impressive.
so what are the chances of you being deployed overseas? Would you be going there to be a mechanic, behind the scenes, not fighting, but
Yeah.
supporting as a support?
Even
person?
if that happened, then probably yes, I'd go wherever the AAVs went, because you have stuff from the Marine Corps called MEUs, Marine Expeditionary Units, and you just go to a NATO or allied country and train there for like 6 to 12 months, and usually the AAVs always go with. So I'm guessing I will get probably 1 or 2 deployments with them, probably some Pacific island somewhere.
Cool.
That'd be nice.
That's amazing. I mean, it's just the places you can go with doing all that. And
That's one of the main reasons why I picked that job, and for that too is because of that too. Yeah.
Now, Wisconsin Heights is a small, that's our high school. That's a small high school, 200 kids basically. But they've had multiple people now that have, we
Just
won't
lately,
necessarily
yeah.
name names, but were there guys around your age that went to the Marines or the Air Force or the National
Yeah,
Guard?
John was the one that contacted me about it.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yep. And because I came and talked to him with the recruiter that one day after school. And then when he came back for recruiter's assistance, I did PT for him with him for like a month. And then that was cool too, yeah. Because originally I was going to go, I did talk to the Army recruiter, and then I did get papers from him again. And I told John that I needed a referral. And then he's like, "Oh, don't do that. Come talk to the Marine Corps first before making a decision." And it was just like such a big difference between the two. So all the Marine guys in there were just in shape, just jacked. And they all just had a laid back demeanor about them. Like I'm the coolest person in the room when I walk in with them. And the Army guys weren't really like that. They were just kind of more business. And yeah, that's what mainly attracted me to it.
I didn't know they were so aggressive in their recruiting. I mean, it definitely is recruiting because, like, they come to the high school consistently, and if you give any kind of a like, maybe I'll think about it. I mean, like Deshaun did, and they're calling us all the time, still to this day. And we went to. He was in the States. He did state high jump last year, and they had these pull-up bars for the Marines, several of them. And they were just guys were getting on there, and they were on them, you know, like hair on it.
You give like prizes too if you do a certain amount and all that. Yeah, they remember them at the high school. I think they came every single year, at least twice, when I was in school.
They'd have like the jungle or the rock climbing wall. They had the
they'd have. I forgot about. They'd have the rock climbing wall outside to really go for.
Yeah, I think you could like. They had, like you said, prizes. You get, like, if you did 25 push-ups, you got a water bottle, or 50 like or something.
10 pull-ups, you get a sweatshirt or something like that.
So it was kind of fun to do that, but it wasn't always. We would in high school, it probably wasn't smart to do this, but in high school, we would write down other people's names on the pamphlets.
That's a very old trick. It's a very old trick.
And that was mean because then they probably just got hounded, but it was fun. It was kind of harmless, but we probably shouldn't have done it.
I'm sure you're going to learn a lot as you go through the process. So we'll have to have you when you come back sometime. But are there some things that you two, you know, you, Leslie, your wife, and you have learned already that you didn't know, or having Daniel in the Marines helped kind of educate you?
Mom was pretty like peed off at me first whole week. She didn't talk to me
because you had signed up. Okay,
we didn't tell her for like I think a couple weeks too after I made the decision.
I knew a little bit before my wife did, and probably not the best secret to keep from Mom, but I wanted to make sure that William was trying to make a decision, so I didn't want to.
It was because
I didn't want to have anybody else
my
influence. And he had an eye injury in high school.
Yeah, I remember that.
The retina surgery.
And we had to make sure.
I didn't have a good chance of actually like they didn't think I had a good chance of actually getting accepted in to any branch just because of it, but. That's why we mainly were hiding it, because if you didn't, then you just wouldn't say anything. Like,
compared to when my brother went in, it seems like not much has changed.
Really?
It's kind of interesting listening to the recruiters now and listening to the recruiter that spoke with my brother almost 20 years ago. There's a lot of similarities, but it's this time it's a little more. It's the dad thing instead of a brother thing.
I was just going to ask that. Yeah.
As it's coming up closer, it's starting to hit me a little bit more that this is where he's off and going to have a different chapter in his life. And you just kind of hope that you've steered the ship correctly to this point and then let him take over. So it's a little nerve-wracking there.
Yeah. I was just thinking about that being the oldest brother, and that's your baby brother. And then him taking off and all the stuff that goes on with being the oldest and then the youngest, the relationship there. And now it's your son, which is a whole totally different dynamic. I mean,
and we went out, my other brother and I went out to see Danny's graduation when he was done with boot camp. So we plan to do that for William as a family, go out there and see his graduation. So that's going to be interesting to see too, just to see if anything has changed. But I'm sure it has, but I think this time it'll be a little more emotional going out there. Last time it was more of me and my brother went and had a good time in San Diego and then dragged ourselves to the graduation and then
attaboy, Danny.
and then left the ceremony with Danny and went out and saw the town again and then flew home and he was around for a few days and then back.
That was a lot different back then. I guess the only thing that has, when I asked my recruiter, that has changed is that they're not supposed to hit you anymore in recruit training. But it's gonna be different for when Danny went, because pretty much every single person that went through boot camp deployed to Iraq or Afghanistan.
Oh, wow.
Like almost everybody did, and he did 4 or 5 times. total? A
His
lot.
total overseas, I believe, was 5 tours.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long is a tour? Was it like
His
6, 10
were
months?
yeah, it was about 10 months, 12 months. He did a couple with the Marines, if my memory serves, and then he did some contracting, and then he did with the National Guard. So those were nerve-wracking too.
Yeah, I bet.
Those were different times to sit there and wonder what the phone calls were going to be if there was one.
Yeah. Do you find yourself watching the news differently right now, both of you, or not?
Not really.
Okay.
I try and stay away from watching the
Okay.
news because it's just too stressful.
Yeah.
Just pay attention to everything local and have fun around town.
Yeah.
And it's baseball season. You can't pay attention to anything else right now. It's just baseball.
Yeah.
I've got to make sure that pencil is sharp so those hits are recorded correctly so that we can make sure everybody gets the proper batting average. Right, Hudson?
I hear you.
And
It's important.
And William is probably starting tonight against Casanova.
Casanova as
our
Brett.
Casanova.
Remember?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
all right. It's not easy, but
Yeah.
Casanova.
Casanova.
Yeah.
And
you got a home talent baseball game tonight. You guys are going to be playing. You're going to be writing in all the stats and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Long
William's going to be
game.
on the mound.
Won't be home probably till 2 a.m. tonight.
Yeah.
And then we have to turn around and do it tomorrow too.
Yeah,
so
yeah, a full
we'll have to be
weekend.
good boys tonight.
So, quick question about, will you be trained at all in the combat side of things? Will you just, like, is boot camp the same for a guy that's going to, shoot guns and stuff as a guy that's going to shoot grease? Because you're going to have to protect yourself and maybe be a support person, right?
Because one of the big things in the Marines is every Marine is a rifleman.
Okay.
So every MOS goes through recruit training for the 13 weeks.
Okay.
Infantry, after that, you have to do 10-day leave. They go 8 weeks to combat infantry school. All other MOSs go for only 4 weeks. So I'd be going to 4 weeks to that. And I haven't really asked what that entails, but I mean, you can kind of get the combat infantry. Yeah. And then after that, I think it's 70 days of my MOS school, I believe. And that's actually learning then your MOS and how to work on the vehicles and training and all that type of stuff.
Are you an adventuresome type guy? Do you like adventures? I mean, young men usually are fairly, willing to take on challenges and stuff. But some people are just temperamentally a little bit less.
That honestly was one of the reasons why I picked the Marines too, is because they are the hardest branch. They have the longest training, the hardest training. It's like, yeah, I want to do that. I mean, and they're the only one, or I guess I've been doing PT for 2 times a week, 3 times a week for the last 4 or 5 months now. And it's just been awesome with my recruit to do that. And
What's PT? Just personal training?
Yeah, or physical training.
Physical
Yep.
training. Okay.
And then, seeing the transformation, even because with the first time, I think I went in January or February, 5-6 months ago, I was only able to do 2 pull-ups and a 40-second plank. Now I could do 15. And then
You can do 15 pull-ups?
Yeah, and a 4-minute plank. I think I got I got second in the pulley function a couple weeks ago for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah,
doing
you look
that.
different in your uniform this summer. You do. I mean, you do.
Yeah,
how much weight have you dropped? And you've strengthened
a
up
little
too.
over 20 pounds.
Yeah.
in total.
Good
Yeah,
for you.
I remember.
Definitely.
Jeff. He asked me. Told me that too. The first game we had was he asked if I lost weight, and it's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
and
crazy.
you've gained some muscle. I can tell too.
Yeah.
Good for you. Well,
He said, Will told me the other day, he said, don't worry, I'll be back in 4 years and I'll be jacked.
Yeah, I'll be yoked coming back.
He'll be hitting 4
years,
for us.
yeah.
He'll be the 4 hitter. Good old Willie Ruland.
Yeah, when you're in the fleet too, you wake up at 4:30 or 5:30, and it's PT every morning. That's the same too.
yeah.
And then they give you time in the afternoon for lunch, hour or two to go to the weight room even more and all that type of stuff. So yeah.
That's the real reason why you went to the Marines, was to get jacked for hometown, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what I
4
thought.
year
It's my overseas contract for 4 years.
He's actually going down to where is it that they is not Cuba, but who are the Cubans are really good at
Venezuela.
baseball. Venezuela.
Yeah.
He's going to
Venezuela,
Venezuela. He's
Rico.
going to the Marines, but he's
Suddenly he'll show up on TV. They'll be recruited, right?
yeah.
Well, I don't have any other questions, but maybe there was something as we talked about having you guys on here that you thought, I wouldn't mind saying this, or here's something that I found interesting. Is there anything that comes to mind, or?
Mainly that, I kind of stumbled into your guys' podcast and YouTube channel just from Facebook, and I was talking to Hudson about how relatable the things you guys talk about go to other businesses. You know, your family business, talking about accounts receivable, talking about customers, talking about trying to stay focused. So it's interesting from that just to watch and see how other people have to run their business or do run their business. And I didn't know anything about voiceover.
Yeah.
So it's been interesting to learn what you guys actually do. I didn't know there was that much into it. I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that is interesting that it's a separate industry, but yet there are lots of principles. Anytime you own a business, a small business, you're a small business owner. I'm a small business owner. Hudson's a small business owner.
Very small business owner.
But yeah, there's a lot of crossover.
Yeah.
A lot of things that you can relate to and maybe learn something when you watch. So and then the tips, I've had to turn the channel off once in a while. Let the kids didn't want William.
Oh yes, the tough love is so hard. It's harsh. There's no doubt about it.
It's pretty brutal. I didn't want anybody being hurt feelings.
Yeah. You want to? We've got about 6 or 7 minutes here. You want to just?
If they don't mind, if they've got some, a couple more minutes.
So here's what we're gonna do. This is just a little. Have you ever seen these on the internet? This has nothing to do with the Marines. It has nothing to do with baseball. But there's these would you rather things.
You rather?
Have you ever seen those?
I have. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll put you on the spot, and it doesn't matter if we answer it if we're funny or not. But here's one, and anybody can answer whatever. Would you rather eat fast food every day or never eat in a restaurant again?
Never eat in a restaurant again.
That's what you would?
Yep.
Because that means you could still eat fast food.
So you'd eat fast food every day?
No, I wouldn't. I would not eat in a restaurant.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because you could still eat fast food. You just can't eat it in the restaurant. Does that make sense?
Oh.
So
I think I'd have to skip the fast food. I'd want to be able to eat in a restaurant. So.
Okay.
Definitely. I definitely need to skip the fast food.
Oh, so I didn't get it. I mean, skip fast. I wouldn't eat fast food. Sorry. Yeah.
No, isn't it? You'd have to eat fast food every day.
Would you rather eat fast food every day? That's your choice. You have to eat fast food every day, or you never ever get to eat in a restaurant.
Okay,
so it's kind of the opposite. You either have to
So
choose. I have to eat
okay,
fast food every day, or I'll never get to eat out. If you will,
that's a tough one.
That's a tough one. I guess I could have fast food every day. You can portion control. You can portion control.
I shouldn't do that.
I'm just going to get a quarter order of fries, please.
Yeah.
McDonald's has salads.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm having a salad at McDonald's.
Yeah,
I'm
you have to
being
go
honest.
every day, and then you see
3
the dollar
McChickens
menu,
and
and it's like
large fry and a
and they got those new
defibrillator.
like Sprite sundaes.
Yeah.
Ices.
What was that one? What was that one documentary?
Supersize Me.
Supersize Me. Did you guys ever watch
We
that?
watched
No,
that
I
in high
haven't.
school actually, and it was disgusting.
Yeah, it's
One of the
disgusting.
guys-
It's
Changed
right.
my mind. I still eat it.
Yeah.
It's not that
He
much.
made a second-
Every day? Wasn't it every day? Every meal?
Every meal.
He made a second one too.
did he?
Recently, yeah. Where,
Okay.
Because I remember the first one, what he had to supersize when they had that back then. Everything.
I've always wanted to do that.
And I remember the first meal he had, he puked it all up. And then I remember they showed that, and I was like,
Yeah, he was having
disgusting.
ridiculous size
Yeah.
portions too. It wasn't
Yeah.
just. Anyway,
Well, can you get supersized anymore? Do you have to
I
ask
don't
for it, or
know.
will they
I
not
don't
even
I
let
haven't been
you?
to McDonald's in a
Okay.
long time.
Okay. What's your favorite fast food? If you had a choice, fast food now, not a kind of
My
a
choice of favorite fast food
Yeah,
would
yeah.
have to be chicken wings.
chicken wings.
Yeah.
Where though? Where would you go?
From
Like a bar or
from the
a
bar,
restaurant?
yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's
They
a
all
good
seem to
choice.
have the same ones.
Yeah.
And the flavors.
You like the in-bone?
I can either.
Okay.
It's fine. I don't get too worried about whether it's bone in or not.
Okay. How about you?
Probably Culver's.
Culver's.
Yeah,
there you go.
there
Yeah,
you go.
yeah. Culver's.
Yeah. That's a famous meeting place for the Mustangs after a win. We
Yep.
go to Culver's. That's
How about 5 more minutes? We got time for one more, and
All
then
right.
we'll let you guys go.
Fire away.
So, would you rather live with 500 spiders in your house or 5 in your bed? Would you rather live with 500 spiders in your house or 5 in your bed? William, you answer
I think
first.
5 in your bed.
You'd rather live with
Yeah.
5 in your bed. Why? Why would that be?
I feel like you can, I don't know, protect yourself somehow against them, or just like throw a blanket just tight over you and go to bed and just forget about it. But like,
Do you have to sleep in your bed though? Because if they're in your bed, I'm sleeping on the floor.
Yeah.
If they're in your house,
I think
they're
that means you
everywhere.
have to sleep
500 is
in
a
it, yeah.
lot in here. You got to imagine too them like reproducing more spiders from 500.
I never thought about that.
That's a
That's
good
at least
choice.
thousands of more a month then.
Are
How
you?
Go ahead.
Do you guys? Are you more afraid of spiders or snakes?
Neither.
Spiders.
I'm not
I
too
think,
worried
more,
about.
yeah.
I would say probably snakes if I had to take a pick.
Okay,
But they usually don't worry me at all
spiders.
when you see them.
Anything with 8 eyes and 8 legs, I just can't.
Because in Wisconsin, there's no poisonous snakes, right?
There's rattlesnakes.
Rattlesnakes,
There is?
rarely, but they're not very common.
Supposedly, I've never seen them.
Well, I think
before.
that would determine too. I mean, if you're thinking of poisonous spiders, tarantulas or something like that, but I think these are just your garden variety, just non-really hurt type spiders. But you what did you say you would rather do?
I'll take the 500 spiders.
Yeah,
why not?
During kind of during
Just
the
let 'em-
day.
yeah, just let them
you
hang
can-
out.
Yeah.
Maybe train them, have your own little marching army, and then have them go off out back and
you
take
would
on
be
the
able to
ants.
make that happen.
Let's
If
get
anybody.
them fighting the
Doesn't-
ants or something.
Doesn't what's the Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Don't they have lots of?
They
don't
sure
they
do.
have like spider type things? Have
Big-
you guys watch
big
those?
spiders.
I've never seen the Harry Potter series of
I
movies.
don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't
several of the
remember. I don't
movies
know.
have
Lord of the Rings,
spiders
yeah.
or something.
I think the first
yeah, Lord of
movie,
the
I
Rings.
think it was, oh no, that was a snake in the end that I think they fought. Not
Yeah.
a spider. I
Yeah.
don't remember.
How about you, Hudson? 500 in your
I'm
house
saying
or
5 in
your
my bed
Okay.
because if I cannot sleep, I don't like spiders. I don't mind snakes. I don't like spiders.
I don't mind spiders. They're
I'm with
just-
BJ. I don't
it's
like
just they don't
I don't
really
like spiders, but I
bother
don't
me.
want them in my bed with me. I mean,
yeah, I
I'd
don't want
rather
them in-
dance around them.
Yeah, I'd rather
than
have
That
those
is the one
all
spot that
lined
they're
up.
not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just, you're not allowed there. Get
Yeah,
off
exactly.
the bed. It's like
Yeah,
the dog.
exactly.
Stay off the bed, dog.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for coming on. We
Thank you.
appreciate
Oh,
it, and
thanks for having
hopefully
us.
we'll be able to have BJ on again. Maybe if Will's home, he'll spend his leave with us.
Yeah, 10-day leave.
10-day leave.
Mid-November, I think.
Yeah, it should be sometime around then.
That'll be your first thought as you get off the plane, or you'll
Can't
say,
wait to
"I
go."
can't wait to get on the original father-son voiceover."
for this.
That'll be the first thing I message him when I get access to my phone is like, when are we scheduling the podcast?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it'll be where's the steak dinner I can get.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
want a
Yeah.
ribeye.
Yeah,
I think that's
exactly.
honestly like that's one of the one things where I'm like going, I'm not really like that nervous yet. I don't think I'm going to be that nervous about the yelling or the physical stuff just because I've had to go through that the past couple months. They brought the drill instructors
Yeah.
one weekend and that was fun, but like the food's going to suck.
Oh, is it?
Like
Okay.
really. And like, yeah, you got to eat all of it or you get screamed at and all that. And,
yeah. I think Clay said that like for the first week or something, that's basically all they do is scream at you during lunch and supper and
Army's a lot different from
Oh, it is?
Marines because
Okay.
Marines, you don't meet your drill instructors until Friday. So you got
Okay.
almost a full week before meeting them.
got it.
The Army, it's right off. You get off the bus and you meet them. It's your sergeants. Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you off. We've got a little time limit on these things. If you guys want to stay around and talk more, that's fine. But we just have to pause
That's
this
cool.
here. So,
No problem.
Thank you very much, you guys.
No, thank you
Appreciate
guys.
it.
all right.